Hi there, DW Berman here with Liberty3D.com's Lightwave plugin of the week. This week's plugin is Align and Distribute from Artsphere. He also has a Align and Distribute for layout, which looks pretty similar in the interface, but I was not able to get it to work in Lightwave 9.6. So I'm just going to go over the Lightwave Align and Distribute for Modeler. So let me pop over to Modeler. Okay, here in Modeler I have a set of differently shaped balls, and I have something in the background layer, but I must tell you that this plugin does not work if the background layer is on, so we'll just ignore that for now. I put an Align and Distribute button on my interface, so I'll click on that, and here it is. It's popped up. And the color scheme works very nicely with Lightwave 9.6. Not so much with Lightwave 10. But anyway, this plugin does not seem to respect selections. So if I select part of these things here and I click on a button here, I don't want the y-axis. I want the z-axis. It gets a little confusing. It's all very logically laid out, but sometimes I click on the wrong thing. But let's say I want all of the back edges of these objects to line up. So I click on this button here, align along the Z. And if I want them to all align on the front of the object, I hit the same thing on the front side. So yeah, watch what I'm doing and not how I'm explaining it. So we also have align to 0, which is like rest on ground. If you hit F3, let me hit it, okay, there. If you hit F3, you get rest on ground, and you can rest it on the X-axis, the Z-axis, or the Y-axis, and you can center on those and do plus or minus cents. That's kind of the same thing, only this is a little easier to understand because of the little icons. If you're coming from Photoshop, you might recognize these kind of icons from the top of bar when you have something selected, or if you're coming from Illustrator, you'll recognize the Align and Distribute panel as a whole. So this is basically taking that functionality and putting it into Lightwave Modeler. The thing I found most useful, that I've been using this for recently, is just using this distribute spacing to evenly space between the objects. That gives us even space between the objects. So if you're saying, if you want to use a stencil or a drill tool or a boolean to put windows in a building, and you want those windows to be all evenly spaced, this is the tool to do that until we get interactive array commands for Lightwave. Of course, this plugin is free, and although a little buggy, it's still a useful tool. And I have been using it in Lightwave 10. I'll show that to you now. Problems with Lightwave 10 is that it's not interactive anymore. So, and the panel doesn't look as nice. But say I want these all to align on the Z-axis. I'll center them all on the Z-axis with the align to 0. And you notice nothing happens until I hit OK, and then it happens. So it's not as intuitive. You can't see things that are going on as you click on the buttons, but it's still useful if you want to evenly space things out or line things up. So that is the tool of the week, Align and Distribute. And see you next week.